everyone, welcome back to my channel, welcome to another video, and excuse the angle, all will be revealed in this video I think. But basically I'm feeling a bit pants, I'm not gonna lie. I thought I would do this as my second trimester kind of symptoms vlog kind of thing. I am currently 14 weeks pregnant, 14 weeks today officially. So I've missed a couple of weeks from when I finished the last video, but we're just going to roll with it because basically the last 2 weeks have been a bit hectic and a bit of a blur as well, to be fair. So things to catch you up on. I can't remember where I ended the first trimester video, but basically I had a bleed just before 12 weeks or around 12 weeks. It wasn't much, it was more spotting than bleeding in the majority of it, but we were that concerned that I was constantly on the phone to the NHS helpline. I had a phone consultation at 2:30 in the morning, and then they decided that just to see how it goes, and then fast forward a couple of days and I had another bleed, so I phoned my actual GP, had a phone consultation with that one, and they then referred me to the early pregnancy unit for a scan. Now thankfully everything in that scan was okay. It was really painful to have the scan because she had to push quite deeply, which I was not expecting. Like, obviously she had to get her checked and I'm happy she did, and you know, I'm happy that everything was okay. But yeah, I came out of there with like bruised hips where she'd been pushing the ultrasound thing so much. But I'm just glad that I was able to have the external ultrasound rather than the internal, because it was touch and go whether I'd be able to. So that was at 12 weeks, and then I had the weekend, which I just had to keep an eye on everything. The bleeding had stopped by the point I went to the ultrasound anyway, but I just needed to keep an eye on stuff. And yeah, see how it went, and thankfully it was all okay. And I went for my scan, my 12-week scan that was already booked in on the Monday. And yeah, that was really good because I got to see the baby move a lot more, which was really nice to see. I was in there for absolutely ages because they couldn't get one of the measurements that they needed, because they do like the screening at the same time for various different things. They couldn't get one of the measurements that they needed. No matter how much I tried, I had to jump up and down, I had to empty my bladder, I had to wiggle my hips, I had to turn on my side. Like, baby was just not playing ball, which to be fair I kind of knew because it's related to me and I'm as stubborn as they come, so of course my baby is going to be as stubborn as they come. I even got sent away, had to go and have something to eat and drink, and then come back and they tried re-scanning me and it still didn't work. So after what felt like an absolute age at the hospital, we came away with the majority of the stuff, information that they needed, but just not this one measurement, which I'm okay about. Like, I've accepted that and I know the risks, and yeah, like either way the outcome of that measurement, it wouldn't have changed anything for me, so like I feel quite settled with that. But yeah, the baby was like in its obviously sack and it was pushing against the side, which was really cute. It was like, obviously I can't feel it, I probably won't think that it's cute in like a few weeks time if it's still doing it, but it was like arching itself up and then pushing off, almost as if pushing off the side of a swimming pool. And I thought that's gonna hurt in the future. But for now it looked cute. I will probably try it, or not probably, I will try to remember to show you a photo of the scan when I edit this, because I did get a couple. Oh, my lunch is on its way, so I better speed it up. That's right, I got time to eat it before work. So yeah, that was a scan. That all went well. And then I was at REIT for a week, so I was a bit concerned that I might get blood, but I didn't get any. But my symptoms, in terms of symptoms, REIT week wasn't too bad. The worst symptom, I think, for that was sickness. My sickness since 12 weeks has got a whole lot worse. I thought it was going to get better. They always say, you know, get to 12 weeks and it's going to be fine. I had a bit of sickness from like 10 weeks. But no, 12 to 14 weeks has just been, wow, 12 to 13 weeks was bad. 13 to 14 weeks has just been awful. Like, the only reason I look semi-normal is because I've got a tan from Ria. If I didn't have a tan, I would probably look more like Casper. Yeah, like even today. But I'm only being sick like once or twice, and the doctors, the doctors say that's normal. But I'm like, it's not helping me. It might be normal, but it's not easy. I'm usually sick in the morning once, and usually of an evening once, pretty much after I finish my jobs, basically. So I've got my morning job, I stumble through that, get out of there, sometimes get home, and sometimes on the way home I'll be ill. And then like my evening job, I'll leave there feeling like I'm going to throw up. Quite often I do. But yeah, the doctor doesn't want to do anything because they say 3 or more, so I'm borderline. I've just got to hope it gets better, but I've been dehydrated as well, which is not helping. So I've been trying to sip on the water, and the doctor's guidelines were basically that as long as I can sip on the water and the water stays down, then I'm okay. So fingers crossed it doesn't get any worse. I honestly thought it would get better. So that is the main symptom, which basically has just meant that I've either been in bed or I've been working. Like between the two, I haven't been on Instagram in absolutely ages. Like all the people, especially people like Ellie and stuff, that I'm always watching their stories and watching their videos. Like I literally just, I can't. I've got to sleep because otherwise I feel like I'll throw up. So I feel a bit out of the loop, to be honest. Today was the first day I posted a photo on my aviation account for literally like a month or more, maybe 6 weeks. But I have announced it on there. I haven't announced it on my main Instagram. And as I'm speaking, I haven't announced it on here either because I just can't stomach editing a video. I'm not going to lie. My first video in a while went up today as well. Other symptoms is a lot of burping, as you've probably seen in this video. It's not acidy yet, which I'm glad about because I think that mixed with the sickness would just tip me over the edge, I think. I'd be begging the doctor to do something about it. Yeah, I got a lot of like burping, which is annoying because I can feel it bubbling up, and until the last minute I don't know if it's a burp or sickness, and obviously I have to be prepared for the latter. Have my bag at the ready, and then it's a burp. I think, well, that's a waste of time. But yeah, other than that, I've still got brain fog. I noticed it a lot more at Ria as well. I couldn't work out what camera settings I should be on, which thankfully I did work out in the end. It sounds really stupid and people are probably going to be like, well, I don't know what it is. But for me, obviously, I'm very plane orientated. Like, I know what a lot of military planes are. You can see like models all around that are my dad's, and I can name them all pretty much. There's 1 or 2 that I'm like, what the flip is that? But the majority I can name them. And at Ria, I pretty much could name 90% in theory of what was there, but I kept getting the names wrong. I kept getting them muddled up. Like, I know what they are, but my brain just, it doesn't work. So that's another thing I'm struggling with. Even like cleaning, I'll be in work and I'll literally stare at something because I'm like, what am I meant to be doing? Or like, how do I work the dishwasher? Like, it's stupid things like that, which, yeah, are driving me mad. But other symptoms, my hair is getting quite thick. I haven't brushed it all week because I just can't bear it because I've had headaches as well. That's another thing I've had. But I think that's the dehydration more than anything else, but because I've had the headaches I haven't wanted to brush my hair, so if I take this off it looks more like dreadlocks right now. So I'm going to try and sort that out later after work. Yeah. Anything else to report, Pooch? You're not really much help because you're snoring. She's literally been the cutest. She's so like cuddly and protective of me now, more so than she was anyway. And like I've got a little bump which I'll probably show you either later or maybe next week when it's a little bit more protruded, hopefully, because right now it just looks like I've eaten too much. But yeah, she just like lays her head on it, and I thought she won't do that for long. I think my dinner's here, so I'm going to speak to you all when I've got some more to update you with. So just checking in, I think I've missed possibly a week. I'm currently 16 plus 5 days and I feel like crap. I'm not gonna lie. I missed last week because I was really poorly, to the point that I was just constantly throwing up and ended up out A&E, which was not fun. After 7 hours and 2 drips and an anti-sickness injection and the usual urine test, thankfully I could come home. It was a bit touch and go to start with whether I could come home or not, and I was basically given the alternatives of, if they couldn't get a wee sample out of me so they could test it, then I would have to go up onto a ward and stay for a couple of days and get some rest and get lots of fluid into me and get back on track. So I can tell you that you will never ever see me drink as much fluid as I possibly could in order to not stay in hospital, because I really didn't want that. Not only did we have plans on the Sunday, which, you know, if they got cancelled, they got cancelled. That, you know, it wasn't a big deal. But I just didn't want to be in hospital. I really didn't. Yeah, and then I came out, that was a Saturday, I came out, rested pretty much Saturday. I puked on the way home and I thought, oh God, like I've just been told I could go home from the hospital because, you know, I hadn't been sick and I'd kept fluids down and like my tests all came back okay. And then literally the 10-minute journey to get home from the hospital, I was sick again, and I just thought, oh no, they're gonna want me to go back in. But thankfully that was the only time I've been sick, touch wood, since then, although right now I feel really nauseous. I was given some anti-sickness tablets, I don't know how you say it, cystidine, something like that, which helped and got me through Sunday. Sunday I felt the healthiest and the calmest and the best I'd probably felt in, I'd probably say about 7 or 8 weeks. And then, yeah, since then I felt rough. Monday I felt like I had a cold, which apparently is a side effect of the tablet, so that's great. And then yesterday I felt on and off sick, but today, this is the first point I've got out of bed because I just feel like crap. I feel like I could be sick in a minute, so I need to wrap this up really. So yeah, that is the main symptoms, to be fair, because I'm just not consciously with it enough to notice anything else. I feel like a pincushion. I've had so many like blood tests and yeah, all sorts like that, but onwards and upwards. Yeah, nausea is definitely taken over any other symptoms. My boobs don't feel sore, like my tummy's not really hurting. It hurt, what day was that? Last Wednesday or Thursday it was hurting, but I think that was just like things moving, and like skin stretching and stuff. I felt like my belly button was going to pop out, but it didn't. It's still very much in at the minute. But yeah, it was quite painful, just like stretching pains almost. But yeah, other than that, I haven't had no symptoms that I can report because I just feel so rotten. Thankfully, my breathlessness has gone slightly, but I don't know if that's because I'm not really doing anything to warrant being breathless, because up until like last week it was still there. But yeah, it's not really there at the minute, but like I say, I'm just either laid down or sat down or not really moving, which I know is bad for me, but I just can't move because when I move I want to be sick. Anything else to report? Still tired, still very much tired, but I think that's the anti-sickness tablets because they make you drowsy. I'm still waiting on some blood test results to find out what blood group baby is, as to whether I need to have the anti-D injection or not. If you don't remember, I am Rhesus negative, so we need to check if baby is the same blood type as me. If not, I just need to take some extra care. Like I say, have the anti-D injection and stuff. Yeah, not much else to report. I feel like there was something else I wanted to say and I can't remember what it was. I really can't remember. So yeah, that is all for now. Just checking in after what feels like an absolute age. I want to say like one of the last times I spoke in a clip for this video was probably when I came out of hospital, because not much happened since then, symptoms wise or anything like that. Excuse the noise. There is a delivery happening outside, which is rather noisy. I am now currently 22 weeks. I have a couple of things to update you on, but not massively. We obviously moved house during the period, which was a little bit stressful, a little bit emotional, but yeah, I'm okay now. And yeah, where to start? So I was given the tablets, which I'll try and remember to write on screen because I don't know what they're called, and even if I did, I can't actually say them. Like most medications, they have funny names. Anti-sickness, and they worked pretty well. I was taking them 3 times a day and it kept my sickness at bay. Since I've moved up here, I have still got a few of the pills left, but not as many, and to be honest, I've just been taking them in the mornings just to get me through the mornings. By afternoon I'm fine, but the mornings are still struggling. My arm's aching as well, that's not helping. Yeah, so I've still been taking them in the mornings. I've now made a decision that I'm just going to take them on the days that I travel, because most of the time I'm in the flat, and when I start to feel sick I just eat like a little chocolate bar or like packet of crisps or some Cocoa Pops, something like that, and it's okay. I'm still drinking a pint of milk a day, and I've got my orange juices when I'm just feeling a little bit meh, which is all things that the hospital recommended anyway, so I've kept those up. I think it's definitely helped. I think it's really like a combination of things. But yeah, tablet wise, I'm just taking them when I travel now, just almost as like a travel sickness pill, because I don't want to be really poorly and end up back in hospital, because that's how it all started, was because I was travelling. So yeah, this lorry is really annoying. They literally turned up just as I wanted to film. Other symptoms wise, obviously I'm getting a bit more of a bump now. Well, I do have a bump now, you know, it's quite large. My back is not the best at the minute. If I lie down or sit down for too long, then it hurts. and I struggle to get back up. It's almost like it seizes up and it's just like, no, you can't bend, you know. So I have to be careful in the daytime where I sit or lie down, because obviously Ash is at work and quite a lot of the time I need his help to get up. I can't get out of the van so easy. It's like low to the ground anyway. But yeah, it's definitely a struggle to get out. There's been quite a few times when Ash has had to help pull me out the van as well, so that's fun. Yeah, I think that's it in terms of those types of symptoms. Obviously my body's changing as would be expected. The sickness comes and goes. I can go like 3 or 4 days and feel absolutely fine, or like last night it got to about 3 o'clock in the morning and I thought I was going to throw up, so obviously I woke up. I was awake anyway, to be fair. Yeah, so I just spent a bit of time in the bathroom. I didn't throw up or nothing, but I just felt like it. And then when I felt a bit better, I went and got a chocolate bar and that was fine. Sleep is really hard. I wouldn't say it's because I feel so uncomfortable as such, although I am finding it hard to sleep on my side constantly, because I know, like, pre-pregnancy I would go to sleep on my left side, sleep a little bit on my back and sleep on my right side, whereas now it's predominantly left. So I wake up quite a few times in the night and one minute I'm hot, one minute I'm cold, which is a bit of a pain, so I'm always tired, which is rectified by an afternoon nap. She says that she's yawning at like 9 o'clock in the morning. What else? Headaches. I've got one brewing at the minute. I can feel it is coming all down here, like proper migraine headaches as well, which then just make me feel sick. I've had a few of those now, which is not nice. And I just, on those days, I just don't get anything done, to be honest with you. So yeah, I'd say that's not a fun symptom to have. What else to update you on? I've had my scan, so despite moving quite far away, I had to go back to my original hospital because, long story short, I couldn't get hold of the midwives up here. I still haven't got hold of them. So I just, like, you know, was like, I'll keep my appointment and go down there just so I get the checks done when they need to be done. So I went down for my 20-week scan. They took measurements of things like the neck fluid, which they couldn't get. I don't know if I even said that, but they couldn't get it in my 12-week scan. Yeah, they checked at the 20-week scan things like the kidneys, they checked the spine, a whole host of things, all the organs. Like, it was a proper check. The man was really nice, he was really patient, whereas on my 12-week scan, the man, again, he was patient. There was 2 men in there the first time, and one of them I think was still training because he kept asking questions and stuff just to check he was doing it right, which I have nothing against anyone training, that's absolutely fine. But the one that was like overseeing him when he had to take a go because baby wouldn't play ball at the 12-week scan, he was a bit heavy-handed, I would say, and it come away I came away feeling sore and quite bruised. But obviously I didn't really know what else to expect because that was the proper scan. I'd had obviously the reassurance scan the week before, if you watched my first symptoms video, because I'd had the bleed. So I had a scan, but I didn't know quite what to expect, and obviously they needed to get certain things, so they needed me to have that, you know, to get everything in that appointment, which I understand. But yeah, I just came away feeling a little bit tender, but it, you know, it is what it is. So whereas this time round on the 20-week scan, this man was really like gentle and talk, although they've got to be quiet because they've obviously got a lot to check for. He spoke through and said exactly what he was checking before he checked it, so that then we could kind of see that it was like the lungs and the liver and the kidney and things like that, so we had a better understanding, rather than it being deadly silent that I know some people have said before, where you then start to panic. He was really reassuring in that sense. They did baby's estimated weight, the length, everything, and all that was absolutely fine, all within the parameters of what it should be for how far gone I was. But true to form, baby did not play ball completely, so they couldn't check the heart, which obviously is one of the most important things they need to check. So I had to book a rescan and go back down at 22 weeks in the hope that baby would play ball a little bit better. So I had that yesterday, and thankfully baby did play ball. But she's got a bit of attitude. Obviously I found out the gender and things at the 20-week scan, and you will have seen, hopefully, if you're subscribed to this channel, you will have seen my gender reveal anyway. Of course we're having a little girl. Well, that's what they say. I'm like 98% sure. There's part of me that thinks she's going to be born and it's going to be a boy. But I think that's something that a lot of pregnant women feel. There's always that element of doubt because obviously they're not 100% sure, or they say they're not 100% sure. But yeah, so she has got a little bit of attitude, which I don't know possibly where she gets that from. But when the sonographer was trying to scan, every time she wasn't pushing really firmly yesterday. It was still quite gentle. Whereas with the first one, where he was pushing, I was like, I need to go to the toilet. Whereas like the second two people that have done it on my subsequent scans, they've been really gentle and fine. So she wasn't pushing really hard, but every time she obviously put it on there, it would move my tummy in, and you could just see on the screen baby like punching and kicking to try and move it out the way, like, what are you doing to my space, you know? So yeah, she's definitely got a little bit of attitude. Not sure where that came from. But yeah, so it's really good to see her, and I feel quite lucky because originally we were going to do a 4D scan, but we just haven't got that in the budget with moving, and obviously being first time parents, so we have everything to buy for. It's just not an option, sadly, money wise. But I feel really privileged in a way that I got to see baby for a third, well, technically fourth time on screen. Yeah, and I feel kind of happy if I don't get that opportunity to see her again on screen. You know, fingers crossed there's no issues that arise that I would need to. Then yeah, I feel happy with that, to be fair. But yeah, that's all the symptoms and things to catch you up on. As I say, I'm now 22 weeks, get breathless a little bit, but I don't feel I'm as breathless as what I was earlier on in the pregnancy. But I don't know if that's because I've slowed down. Obviously I'm not working, and when I am doing things around the house, I'll do a job and then I'll sit and maybe read a chapter of my book just to make sure I'm getting enough rest in between. So I don't know if it's that, and it's just like a slower pace of life right now, but I definitely don't feel as breathless as what I used to do. I mean, we went to an air show on Sunday and I walked around it absolutely fine, apart from having a bump, like, and feeling baby move. I didn't really think of the pregnancy during the day, whereas the other air shows I'd been to, I was either feeling really sick, or like I said, I was so out of puff that walking like to the toilet and back almost like killed me. So yeah, I don't know what that's all about. I'm just trying to keep healthy, keep drinking, keep eating. I've been doing daily workouts. I haven't done it today yet, and I probably won't because of this headache that I've got. But most days I've been doing a pregnancy workout on YouTube, and yeah, just having some me time. So yeah, that's all to update you on for now. I'll probably get one more update, I think, in this video, just to either round it off or finish the video, because I'm getting closer and closer towards the end of the second trimester, which is really, really scary. Yeah, but also very exciting. So yeah, that is all for now. Hello everyone, I thought I would quickly pop on and give you an update. I feel like I spoke too soon. I think it was the last clip. I kind of said, oh, I don't think much is going to change, you know, symptoms wise and everything. I'm now 25 weeks, and the last like couple of weeks have been horrendous. I'm not gonna lie. My HG sickness has come back like tenfold, which is not good. I would probably say that I felt sick more than I haven't felt sick, which isn't great. And I am being sick as well. Not as much as I was when I first got diagnosed with it. The tablets do still help. But yeah, I get days where nothing helps whatsoever. What else to report? I can't remember if I said in the last update, but baby girl is now kicking. She went through quite a period of kicking quite a lot, and she was getting into a bit of a routine, but that's slowed down a bit now. But according to all the apps, there's quite a lot of like growing going on in her brain, which can apparently zap her energy, which is why I think this week she has been a little bit more quiet. I'm told it's nothing to worry about at this stage, so yeah, by about 28 weeks she should be back in a pattern, so we shall see. I'm a little bit more out of puff, but I don't know if that's because I'm feeling quite run down because obviously the sickness. What else? I've had a few days where I've had like a horrendous headache. Not necessarily a headache as such, I suppose, more like a fuzzy head. Like I haven't wanted to do anything. My energy is really low, but again that could be related to HG, and my arms and legs just feel like a dead weight, I'm not gonna lie. Added to that, I keep getting like sharp pains on the sides. I think it's just where everything's moving. I've also felt my ribs start to move, which is the weirdest sensation, and I can't say I like it. But yeah, they're starting to like spread out a bit more. But yeah, I'm just trying to think. I think that's everything really to update you on. Oh, that's another thing that reminded me. I've got quite bad acid, especially at night, which is not fun because that just adds to the HG sickness, because the acid as it's coming up makes me feel sick, and obviously I feel sick anyway. So yeah, it's not fun, but I'm trying not to let it beat me. I have days where I'll do stuff and days where I'll do absolutely be all and that's just how it's got to be right now. That's the best I can do, unfortunately. So yeah, I'll quickly show you my bump and then that'll be it for another week. So that is Bump. It's hard to tell, but she is there. She's quite low. Yeah, she's growing.